Hey y'all! Welcome back to the channel. So, as of Halo 5 and Halo Infinite, things are looking really grim for the UNSC. First came the arrival of the Prometheans and the Didact, which devastated New Phoenix and caused chaos throughout the human sphere. The Didact was defeated, but the Prometheans continued to fight, even working alongside the Covenant remnants for a time. Then, months later, Cortana would re-emerge rampant and in control of both the Domain and a lot of Forerunner weaponry. She offered immortality to all smart AI in the galaxy in exchange for their servitude, causing the UNSC to lose fleets and planets in droves as everything from Earth to the outer colonies just got crippled by the newly risen created faction. To top all of that off, the Banished started their own conquest against the galaxy, and some human groups even aligned with them, though their status after Escharum basically declared war on humanity as a species is unknown. Things would only get worse, with the Created killing off many Spartans. Laconia Station, a major center for the training and holding for Spartan 4s, was destroyed. 76 Spartans died before they could even know what was happening. That wouldn't even be the worst of it. The UNSC Infinity, the last hope of humanity, for a time at least, carrying hundreds of Spartans, including the Master Chief, would meet its end. While it successfully deployed the weapon, which defeated Cortana and crippled the Created, it also left the galaxy wide open for the Banished. Atriox basically defeated humanity's best, just like that, and it would be 167 days before the Chief would return to the fight. With the Banished speeding through the galaxy with little opposition, the emergence of the Endless, and more, the UNSC is reeling. There has even been some speculation that the Flood may still be out there, feasting on extragalactic civilizations. In short, it's pretty damn bad. So, are we screwed? Well, the obvious answer is no, but things may soon start to turn around, and I will explain how. Before we get into it, however, the YouTube algorithm is an unforgiving god who knows less mercy than the Gravemind when it sees a fresh planet. You can help me gain favor with it by liking and subscribing. Also, Patreon just received its first bit of merch. A mug! An Ancilla mug to be exact, which has already reached its first owner. They're good quality, and so far they have been received with love. It is linked below. I love them. I mean, obviously I'd love them. They're my own things, whatever. Shameless self-advertising aside, let's get into it. So, as I just said, things are bad. Like, really bad. Civilization basically just collapsed. Twice. The first time with the UEG, the second with the Created. And the UNSC is basically scattered, clustered up in insignificant pockets of resistance that don't even know what the fuck happened to Earth or the Infinity. But there are signs that humanity is about to pick itself up from the mud. Let's start with the obvious. The Master Chief is back, and he came out swinging. He essentially decapitated the Banished by killing Tremonius, Chaklock, Bassus, Trovarius, Hyperius, Jagat Erdonanite, Escharum, and the Harbinger all in a day's work. Literally. Now he's leading a war against the Banished on Zeta Halo, freeing various Marine squads, retaking forward operating bases, recapturing stolen vehicles, killing various HVTs, destroying multiple Banished installations, and crippling their morale. Within a very short period of time, the Chief has secured a small but very noticeable piece of the ring. Presumably, he is now working to find the remaining Spartans, ODSTs, and other UNSC personnel hiding on the ring while trying to drive the Banished out in preparation for the arrival of the Endless. Despite all their gains, the Banished will be disoriented and reeling from this major blow at least until Atriox returns to continue the fight. The Created have essentially been crippled. Without Cortana, they will essentially fall apart, and the various Forerunner constructs of the galaxy did not take kindly to her reign at all. They hated her, so they are likely mopping up what is left of the Domain. As for the Flood, a grim truth is that we don't know with them. They can return, and we know there is a chance of a Flood incursion into the galaxy, but it would, well, okay. It would not be the first time the Flood left the galaxy only to return at a more opportune time. With the events of Halo CE, 2, 3, and Wars 2, if there does happen to be extragalactic Flood fleets, they may very well know about what happened and be on their way back now. But I do not think they will be returning, at least not in any major capacity, just yet, as 343 seems to be focusing more on their new faction, the Endless. Speaking of the Endless, we have gotten a little bit of lore on the Zalanin, as they're called, and I have theories, but for the moment it seems that they have not yet been awakened. In a recent reveal from the Halo Encyclopedia, the new Halo Encyclopedia that is, we get a strange conversation between what is presumably the custodian of the Absolute Record and the Auditor. Interestingly, the Auditor believes that the Harbinger's work is still being worked on. However, it is not complete. In theory, this means the Endless aren't here just yet, which gives humanity vital time to recover and plan. Moving back to the UNSC, the Chief is not the only Spartan making waves in the galaxy. Spartan Commander Laurette Agrina has essentially rebuilt the Spartan program, and she is now training a significant number of new Spartan 4s. She appears to be gathering what forces she can in preparation for an effort to take back what belongs to humanity. The men under her are in decent enough spirits, and the amount of resources at her disposal seem to be vast given what she has done with the Academy. To top that off, Laconia's sister stations, as of recording this video, are still up and running. It is possible that they too are prepping their own force of Spartans, and maybe, just maybe, June survived to help facilitate this. Also, Lord Hood and Saren Osman are still alive and active. While it is unclear what they are doing, the fact that the effective leaders of the UNSC and ONI are alive is huge, and they could come into play later. Finally, the Arc Portal on Reach. Only a token force of Banished were left on the Ark, and the planet Reach was abandoned before Cortana could catch those fighting there. With Cortana gone, there is a chance that the Spirit of Fire could return to the galaxy and continue the fight, though that is just speculation. There is also more good news, as the Halo Encyclopedia just confirmed that construction of the Eternity, the Infinity Sister Ship, is still ongoing. This means the UNSC may one day have a new flagship. Other Spartan fire teams, such as Blue Team and Fire Team Osiris, are unaccounted for, and presumably they are out there somewhere. In fact, the encyclopedia seems to hint that they are still around, making no note of deaths and even talking about present fire team configurations. Other fire teams, such as Crimson and Majestic, are not accounted for, and they could very well be alive and in the fight. The point is, there are a lot of unknowns, but what we do see are positive trends. Let me be clear, things are not going to just turn around and be okay. Things are bad, like totally fucked up beyond all recognition, but things aren't hopeless, and I can't wait to see what happens next. What do you think? Will Agrina's Great counterattack succeed? Do you think the other Spartans are still alive? Does it all boil down to the Chief? Will they finally say that the weapon's name's Durandal because 343 Or are we all doomed to die to the Endless or get nommed on by the Flood? Let me know in the comments on Discord and in my Instagram polls. Also, big thank you to Salvatore Di Pietro for being a member of ONI Section 2. You are awesome, and I hope you're enjoying your mug, buddy. I will see you in the cosmos, friends.